back and chest sessions.
Oh, hey man, things will happen.
I'm Connor, the autistic vegan, and I like corn.
You can't say that!
When I used to train in the school gym at home, these used to be the guy, like the meatheads that always used to train, and now like obviously I've surpassed them. I'm bigger and stronger and like more aesthetic. Nothing, bro. Nothing. If you want to be sick mid-workout, what you do? You have like a really slow digesting carbohydrate meal, approximately 15 minutes before you're gonna train. So I just eating a massive thing of pasta, massive thing of chicken, just because I got up a bit late. Then you have your pre-workout, loads and loads of caffeine. And then what you do is you go to the gym, see there's 3 mince pies, and have your mince pie after your pre-workout, right before you're gonna train. I've had a stinking cold as well for last week, so I'm not sure what that's gonna do for my strength, just because I have been pretty ill, like I'm super bunged up. Got my chalk, forgot my wraps. No one in here has any, so I'm gonna have to try and do like 4 sets of 4 on heavy rows without any wraps or without any chalk. And guys, my grip strength is so fucking weak. Right, I'm starting with lat pull down with scapular retractions, just kind of retract my scapula, pull everything up, get a feel for like what position my back should be in when I'm benching and doing these back movements. And then I'm gonna do like a rotator cuff lying.
Alright, so to track everything, I'm using the Athlete app to put my track my sets and stuff like that. But to actually track my progress and graph it, I'm using an app called Rep Count. So in order to match what I've been doing or improve, I'm gonna have to get 120 kilograms for a 4x4, which is like that. Try and go a little bit heavier if I can, but I just want to maintain that if possible. I haven't got any straps, I haven't got any wraps. On the bench, I'll look to actually improve and progress. If you look at my progression for bench press, this is in the last 3 weeks. I've gone from going, my 1 rep max being 115 to my predicted 1 rep max being 142.5. So I graph my stuff in there, and then with the Athlete app, with my guide, you can, it's not actually finished yet, so I shouldn't be showing you guys this. You can track all your weights in the actual app like this as well. I use this to track my workouts, and I use the other one to track my weights.
Christmas miracle, look what I just found in my bag. Got some chalk, got some straps. My back's still pretty sore from like having the first proper deadlift sesh back. Yeah. Right, 4th set on that done. 4 sets of 4 on 120. Like Connor said, I always do them like a little bit upright. Like I don't do a full bent over row. It's more of a Yates row, just because I prefer doing it like that. I can use a bit more weight and it takes a bit of pressure from my lower back. In terms of form, that's all right. Like at the start, I was like jolting as I was looking down. It's causing my spine to go not quite so neutral. So just always keep looking forward. Just keep your head up.
Come on, come on.
All is progressed by the graph. I have to hit at least 2 sets on 4 sets of 2 on 135. Getting picked up from a gym in like 10 minutes. I'm not gonna have time to do my full session. I'm gonna train arms tomorrow, and then I'll probably do a bit of upper chest right now, and then just kind of leave it at that. Okay? away for 3 minutes. I'm gonna do that superset again. Same weight, so 40 kilograms, which is like 85-ish pounds. Half my chest and shoulder workout done. Go to my mum's, have some food, give them some presents. Christmas dinner.
I think the tail's gonna wag off. It's going so fast.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, darling. Love you.
What do you have for Christmas, Asha?
A lampshade for my bedroom, a curtain, and I got a water filter jug.
Sounds a bit boring.
I don't like tap water, it tastes bad. It's got fluoride in and that's not good for you.
Fluoride is good for you. What have you been watching on the internet? Is the earth flat? Did Bush do 9/11?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
He did.
I don't
Right, I didn't get you much for Christmas or your birthdays because I don't really like you that much. I got Emily loads of stuff, but like you,
I'm your favourite.
you I didn't really get much. I mean, both of you. Christmas present.
Is it a little iPod? Hey, that's what I wanted.
Got PTSD from this, literally. I don't know what this is, but it's like some European gingerbread shit that's like laced with crystal meth, so it's incredibly addictive. But I ate like 3 kilograms of this over the...
Slow down.
Okay. So, in the Netherlands, by the end of November, Santa Claus comes to their home. Well, not Santa Claus, the elves. They come to their home and put Pepernoten in their shoes. And then the elves...
And they fill it up with...
And then they all
fill
get
up
fungal
with-
infections in their mouth. It was a girl's birthday like a week ago, but because they're 13 by the way. Ashley got a PS4 for her birthday, but because the internet here is so shit, because she's been trying to download like updates for games for the last like 3-4 days and literally nothing has downloaded at all. So I'm gonna try and download Call of Duty here just so we can play it together and I can give her like PTSD and nightmares if we play like Nazi zombies. And then failing that, take the PS4 back home, basically download everything on there from my internet at home. Thanks. 0.3 megs a second download. Wow. Literally feel sorry for my mum and sisters. As soon as I have money, first thing I'm doing is buying them internet that actually works. Oh, I love the Christmas tunes.
Are you gonna play Monopoly?
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful.
Is this your lighter?
One.
You smoking already?
No.
When I was 12 years old, I was smoking 10 cigarettes a day. You want to be cool in school, you've got to smoke at least 10 cigarettes per day. You've got to start smoking, okay? This turkey is from Musclefood and purely my doing. Shout out to Musclefood for sponsoring Christmas and giving me a turkey.
I'm a qualified fitness instructor.
CrossFit.
You know that?
You're not, you do
I am.
CrossFit.
Away. Get in the way. Cut the turkey and be useful.
Mum, what the fuck is that?
What is what?
That.
Turkey.
Have you cooked that?
What are you talking about?
Where's my tofu? I went vegan. Christmas is fucking ruined.
I'm gonna wait till Moses
Mostly meats, mostly veg, and hashtag diet shredded life.
What screen covered in tinsel and goes ribbit ribbit?
Frog?
And mistletoed.
What's the difference between a lorry load of ball bearings and a lorry load of babies? You can't unload the ball bearings with a pitchfork.
Should I read my...
It's the next day, which means it's leg day. Shut up, I listened to the video. Spent God knows how many hours painting this last night. Varnished the whole thing. It probably took me about 5 hours. Got like super accidentally high off the fumes, and I was like, the room is basically done. They're trying to hit a 4x2 today on squats. Not really sure how I'm feeling, just because bench was like going up real slow, real awkwardly, like it's a little bit fucked on bench. So it's either gonna be really good or it's gonna be really bad. Like in terms of like leg strength, I've just been going all the way up recently. Just was injured, my knee was fucked. So recovering from the injury, you're obviously gonna spring back if you haven't been training something properly. So hopefully we're gonna hit some new PRs today. Okay, so right now I'm hitting my heavy leg day. I'm gonna give you guys kind of a little bit of a voiceover just because I haven't done one in ages. Warming up by doing like 5 to 10 minutes cycling. But I didn't explain this very well, but the way my split is laid out, like my new split that I'm on, is I'm doing a heavy upper day, heavy lower day, then doing pull, push, legs, hypertrophy, so higher volume. So these 2 days that you've seen on this video have been the heavier days. These have been the days where I've been focusing on chasing like strength gains, getting stronger, and just having a bit of fun really. In terms of warming up, it's fairly important. Did a little bit of cycling before then, and just basically doing some walking lunges now, some side to side, front to
back, left to right, up to down, leg swings, whatever the hell you want to call them, and just kind of warming myself up. Dynamic stretching, just so I'm not limiting my performance, because if you're doing like long static stretches, it can like put a down on your performance. So first exercise is heavy squats. So as I said, I'm doing 4 sets of a double. Like, it isn't really heavy by a lot of people's standards, but just the problems I have in my knee, I'm just gonna really kind of focus on getting strong and see what happens over this bulk. Like I've always had an issue with my squat form as well. Like, it's been one of those movements that I found really difficult. I'm not sure if it's how I'm laid out, or I'm just like not really designed for squats, but I've just kind of been working on improving that form. Like, I started off high bar, couldn't squat, went to low bar, couldn't squat, and now I've actually gone back to high bar, and it's starting to feel like a little bit normal. Like, in terms of my torso's a lot more upright, my heels are on the ground, and my head is up, kind of thing. What I do notice though is on a lot of these reps, so even on the first part of the video as well, is I just need to slow down the tempo a little bit. Like, when I'm going down into the rep, I need to go a little bit slower, maybe not bounce so much, and then just be a bit more explosive. Okay, in terms of working up to my working weight, what I like to do is I'll just do like 12 reps with the bar, stretch out, all that kind of good shit. Put 1 plate on each side, hit like another maybe 12 reps, and then I'll start adding weight, and I'll start doing like my working rep range. On this particular occasion, I went from 60 kilograms, so 1 plate to 1.5 plates. I did 2 reps on 1.5 plates, 2 reps on 2 plates, 2 reps on 2.5 plates, 2 reps on 3 plates, until I got to my working weight, if that makes sense. So I don't want to like fatigue myself by doing super high volume before my actual sets. Before you guys ask as well, the new belt is from Strength Shops, a really fair priced, decent, solid quality belt, and it's bright pink, which makes it cool as fuck as well. They haven't like paid me to say any of this, I have to say. I actually emailed them, was like, yo guys, can you send me a belt? And they're like, yeah, sure, just let people know where you got it from. So pink belt is from Strength Shop. Okay, this is my first set on my working weight. So as I said, 4 sets, 2 reps on doubles at 350 pounds, which is 160 kilos. So what I'm actually doing in my program at the minute, it's like split up into 4-week blocks. So I've got 3 4-week blocks, and within those 4-week blocks, you've got like a linear periodization. So what's happening is the volume is going down while the intensity goes up. So at week 1 of 4, what I was doing 4 sets, 8 reps at lighter weight, and then by the time I've got to week 4, what I'm doing is 4 sets, 2 reps at very heavy weight. I think this one's my 4th and final set on 160, so this one's gonna be a bit of a grind. I'm having about 2 to 3 minute rest times. I found that has helped me as well recently is not messing around too much on the setup. Like, I did it a little bit too much then, but just focusing on like having 3 steps back, so 1, 2, 3, rather than stepping and shuffling like a million times. Boys, look how hard that was. If you can, when I start to fail, like when I start to slow down, like the most important thing is not to let your knees come in and not to let your back arch forward. So push, like drive with those knees outwards. That's what I always find helps me. And keep your head up and your chest up, like try and focus on like getting that nice upright torso rather than like letting it come down and fucking yourself up. Okay, after that, next exercise was single leg press. Everything I'm doing, I'm trying to progressively overload. So you'll see me chuck 5 kilogram plates on in a minute on leg press. You might be thinking like, why the hell is he doing that? Like, that's such a small weight to change on leg press. Like, it's such an insignificant weight. But I'm just very slowly trying to progressively overload by increasing the weight, increasing the weight, increasing the weight. This is a set I've already done, hitting about 8 to 12 reps each leg, almost going to failure, but not quite. A lot of you guys have been asking me as well, how do I get even legs? If I've got like an injury in my knee, or maybe one leg's slightly bigger than the other, like this has been a freaking burden for me. Like, having imbalanced legs is a pain in the dick just because of the surgeries I've had on the knee, like how ill I've been and stuff. So a top tip for that is train your legs independently. Don't train everything together, if that makes sense. So when I first came out of hospital, I didn't even bother with squats just because one leg was so much weaker than the other. I was actually going to be growing one leg so much more than the other one. If I do a lot of independent leg work along with like the 2 leg stuff, and when I do the independent leg work, like now, I'll always start my weakest leg first. So always start with the left leg, which is the weak one, then go over to the right one and smash out some reps. Like, if you see as well, my range of motion isn't massive on these, but I'm basically getting around 90 degrees in the crook of my leg just to kind of not go too deep. If you go too deep on leg press, you're gonna get your back actually arching. These are probably one of the like most juiciest, gnarliest leg movements out there. I really rate lunges. I do dumbbell lunges, I do barbell lunges, and as like a kind of heavy kind of finisher or something towards the end of the exercise, like you can't really go wrong. I love them to bits. They're a great exercise. They make you feel like you're gonna die and kind of like prolapse out your insides as you're doing them because they can get so brutal. But 2 sets on these. I'm going fairly heavy again, just hitting around 6 to, I'm not sure how many reps I'm hitting on these. I'll check my program, but I think I'm gonna go around 8 reps. Just final exercise, we did some isolation exercises. So I always start with the compounds, the things that use multiple joints first, and then we go on to the isolation exercises that just isolate, only use one joint, so you're isolating a muscle group. So on these ones, we start off with leg extension. Like I like to do leg extension before leg curls, just because it's a bit of like a risky exercise in terms of screwing your knees up, so I don't want my legs to be completely fatigued when I go onto them. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually doing alternating single leg press. I'm going to a complete stop and going to the other leg. Like I said about training your legs independently to keep them nice and equal. If your legs are completely fine, you probably won't have to do this, but it's like cool to switch it up. But the reason I'm switching legs is because you're starting from a complete dead stop, starting from fresh with the other leg rather than repping on one leg than repping on the other leg, if that makes sense. So absolutely no cheating going on there. Final exercise, we've got lying leg curls. I prefer these to seated. If your gym has like a lying or a seated, I'll always go for the lying just because I find I get a much better contraction. If you kind of tense your ass as you do them and like squeeze everything together, like what I like to do is I kind of like to keep myself a little bit more upright. Again, on these, I'm doing like a big explosive movement on the way up. The reps are a little bit lower, so it's more like training for explosiveness and strength rather than like trying to keep constant tension like I would be on my hypertrophy days. Okay, so I've got like 40 grams of dextrose to 1 scoop of protein post-workout before I hit carbs. Like between me and you guys, I've got carbs in my program, I've got abs in my program as well, but I probably only hit them like 50% of the time because no one gives a fuck about carbs. Like, so I just recorded that whole thing, I forgot to turn the audio on, so we're gonna do like a really shitty style voiceover. I'm loving the colour schemes that these guys are doing. So the khaki stuff, the burgundy stuff is absolutely sick. I actually asked them to do a khaki sleeveless because the black one was dope. So these are all dope, but my absolute favourite is the New Japan range. Like if you look at this, guys, this is sick. It's just so well made. Like the detail on it is dope, the way it looks is dope, and this is probably my favourite thing they do at the moment.